Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Happy September. It's the 3rd of September and I just saw 3:13 on the clock. It was interesting. So lots of threes. I'm seeing threes as being very significant, as well as nines, as well as 717 at this time, 555. 444. So those are some of the number sequences that I'm seeing. Let me know what number sequences you're seeing in the comment section below. Thank you guys for joining. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and have a look around. I am a twin flame channeler. I channel into the masculine energies, the feminine, and the union energies. As you can see, I'm all prepared for Halloween. This is actually, I was covering up the pretty pumpkins. My mom created all of these beautiful pumpkins by hand. Yes, I am bragging because look how adorable they are. I mean, look at the detail. She's so talented. She's so amazing. She's so beautiful. So I'll be showcasing these because we're now, at least in my mind, we're in fall and I get to showcase all my fall stuff. Okay, so enjoy. I even have the witch tarot cards. Well, he's just gonna have a seat because he doesn't want to stand up right now. He's tired. So we've got the witch tarot cards, the everyday witch, as well as my brand new deck, Magical Dimensions, from one of our soul sisters. So we're gonna be starting out with the witch oracle, or the witch tarot, sorry. And if you guys are looking for a personal reading, I'm booked up through the second week of September, so through the 13th, and then I'm halfway booked up, maybe more than halfway booked up for the following week, the 3rd week of September. So just so you guys know, to give you an idea, I am booking in advance at this time. And if you'd like a personal reading, I'm offering twin flame readings. I'm offering a new special reading where we're looking into the energies for you in the fall, what the fall energies are going to bring specifically for you, as well as a North Node reading, which is your destined path reading. It was written in the stars. North Node reading is the most popular and has been for quite some time, and I suspect it will be throughout the rest of this year and into next year. But I offer any of those readings. You can reach out to me at the email listed below, and we're gonna get started, guys. So welcome. Have a seat, have some vegan popcorn. Let's find out. So I'm just asking here, what are the energies going on right now in the collective? Well, we have the World. We have the very last card in the Major Arcana, the traditional Major Arcana deck. This signifies karmic cycles ending. Okay, this is my card that says karmic cycles are ending. Shifts are indeed happening behind the scenes. And it's as if you have everything that you need. So I won't necessarily say everything you want. I see that more as the Sun card, but this is having everything you need at this time. This is also this idea of sort of letting go and releasing and trusting that the universe is taking care of things behind the scenes. I know that this has been a challenging time. This week has been absolutely mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally exhausting for me and for all of my divine feminine sisters that are good friends of mine. So in my circle, in my soul tribe, we've been very exhausted. That's why you haven't heard from me for a couple days. And you guys know that if I go quiet, it's because I'm resting, I'm purging, I'm rejuvenating, and I'm taking time. So I want you guys to understand that this has not been an easy cycle to close out. Many of us are transmuting for the masculines. The masculines as a collective are waking up to who they are. They're also opening their hearts. They're becoming more vulnerable. And as they do so, the feminine is transmuting for the masculine. So a lot of us are feeling these karmic endings. For me, the way that I've been transmuting for my counterpart and for the collective is lots of tears, lots of outbursts of crying for no particular reason, feeling like, it's that sort of doom and gloom feeling like you'll never get everything you want and the world is ending and you'll never see your counterpart again. And it just feels like an ending. I don't know how else to describe it. It feels like a very painful ending. So know that even if this was the masculine's decision, even if they have been wanting to do this for quite some time, it's a painful decision nonetheless, and they really don't have a lot of energy right now to be devoting to anything other than getting through this. And that's why many masculines are not present in the connection right now in the 3D. That's why many of you are not in connection or communication, because they're dealing with what they need to deal with. And if the feminine has stepped back, you've told the universe, I will not be a part of these endings. I will not be a part of this karma. And that's a practice in self-love and self-respect. So congratulations, feminines who have had the courage to step back to allow the masculine to go through these endings on their own. Let's find out these karmic endings, what is going on. Yeah, so the feminine is sitting back still. This has come up a lot for the feminines recently in my readings. She's showing up as the Queen of Pentacles. So it's as if you're sitting over here. You know, there's a lot of focus on the 3D at this time. So many of you might be feeling like you're coming out of the 5D, coming back into the 3D world, and you can feel very jarring and abrupt. Can feel quite triggering. So, and yet at the same time, you've been working on your stability in the 3D. You've been working on your pentacles, okay, on your coins, on your money, financial investments, financial, bank accounts, getting your bank accounts in order, taxes, just things like that. There's a stability and foundation that I find in the Queen of Pentacles that's very independent in nature. She's not reliant on anyone else for paying her bills, for doing things around the house, for getting things done in her life. She's able to pay her bills. She's able to provide for herself. Okay, so this is the energy. It's a very independent energy. An enemy just wanted to come out, which is interesting. I feel like in some ways, the masculine feels like you're not on the same team right now. Okay, this is going to resonate with a select few because that word almost came out when I was trying to say energy. I feel like some of the masculines may feel like you're not supporting them, you're not on their side, they've lost you forever. That there's no way they can compete with this independence. So that's an interesting energy that's coming up. It's very intimidating to these masculines who are going through so many changes in their 3D world, and they're picking up on their feminine just being very successful, in her 3D world. And it's almost like the masculine says, I don't know where I belong. I don't know where I belong in her world anymore. And so there's going to be this fear they're going to have to overcome, this courage they're going to have to summon in order to actually come forward. Queen of Cups. So not only are you showing up as the Queen of Pentacles, but in his heart space, I feel you're showing up as the Queen of Cups. So there's definitely an energy in the Queen of Cups where some of you may have had codependent tendencies. With the World card, I see that that's being healed. Okay, that cycle has been completed, and the masculines are completing that codependent cycle now by releasing codependent relationships and obligations on the 3D world. But the feminines are really feeling, they're in their emotions. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm absolutely drained emotionally. You can probably hear it in my voice. So a lot of the feminines are really feeling just the burden of the connection at this time, the burden of transmutation for the masculine and for the collective in general. They're feeling the burden of this journey. And it's okay to feel that burden, guys. It's okay to be honest and talk about it. This is not sugar, sweet cherries, roses on top, or whatever, cherries on top, whatever. This is not rainbows and butterflies. This is a journey, to the soul, through the soul. And there's some legs of the journey that feel like you're actually going through hell or burning in hell. And it can feel extremely exhausting. You can feel extremely fatigued. The physical ascension symptoms, which I've mentioned from time to time, are just debilitating. Mental fog, timeline glitches, feeling like you're not here but you're somewhere else. Nausea, really painful cramping in periods for women's cycles. Birthing, like spiritual birth, like birthing a spiritual baby or a creative project, and that can actually feel like you're pregnant. Weight gain, weight loss, changes in facial structure and bones. I mean, there's so much. Headaches, migraines, vision issues. Like there's so many things that can occur that can make you feel like you're going crazy. And those are just the physical symptoms. Emotional symptoms are a whole other ballgame. So feminines, make sure you're getting your rest. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. I know that the masculine does see you as this warm and caring person, even though he's also has this fear, like, wow, she's kind of got everything. She's this emotionally, you know, open, warm, caring, giving person, and she's also taking care of herself. Again, where do I fit into this picture? Where do I fit into her world? He's not quite sure. What's the masculine thinking at this time? What's the masculine thinking at this time? Whew, it's a lot of cards. Let's see what came out. We've got 4 cards. That 10 of Pentacles continues to show up, guys. So this is really interesting because the 10 of Pentacles is my happily ever after card, and it continues to show up in these readings regardless of what we see going on in the 3D. I almost feel like this is what is on the other side of the World card in the completion of cycles. We can't see this yet. You know, again, I have to state this because it's quite frustrating and annoying to me. There's a lot of readers out there who will just, you know, it's almost like clickbait. Oh, marriage, you know, proposal, engagement, promise ring, all of these things, unions tomorrow. And I feel like those are very misleading because the majority of twins are not in communication, are in some form of separation throughout the majority of 2020. And twins will be coming together, but it's not going to be imminent union tomorrow. It's going to take time. There's going to be a rebuilding process for many of these masculines or feminines who have been in karmic relationships. There needs to be a healing process. There needs to be a releasing and letting go, a recentering, getting to know yourself again before you can come back whole into your counterpart's life. This is not going to be something that happens in, you know, a day's time or a week's time, you know, and even a month's time. This takes time to rebuild. And I'm not at all trying to say this is going to take years. It's not what I'm saying. I think we need to understand that this is the goal. The goal is the 10 of Pentacles, and yet to expect this to happen magically or instantaneously is ridiculous and absurd to me. And yes, we can stay focused. Yes, we can affirm. Yes, we can have days where we feel off or sad or like we want off of this journey. You're entitled and allowed to feel it all, okay? You're not less spiritual if you want off this journey one day, or if you're crying, or if you're angry, or, you know, cursing at your counterpart in the shower. Not that I've ever done that. You're not less spiritual, and you're not any less of a twin for doing that. There are all sorts of ways to encounter this journey and all sorts of ways to come back to unconditional love. And I just feel like it's misleading when I see these readers, you know, claim that union is happening tomorrow when there's still a lot of work to be done in the 3D. There's a lot of things that are still shifting for the collective in the 3D, and I just feel like we need to understand that there's work to do within us. There's work to do, just not even just your twin flame connection, but for the collective at large. And they're going to be relying on twins and looking at twins and light workers and star seeds to lead them. Okay, so let's go back to, we have 3 other cards here. We have the 5 of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Lovers. So I'd actually like to place this kind of by itself because these are all very positive, okay? There's not a single negative card here. The 5 of Swords isn't even negative, okay? And this is representing air signs, also the mental space, right? Swords, the mind. This is the head over the heart energy. This is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius energy, air signs. So you or your twin, you know, this may resonate more if you're an air sign, or if your twin is an air sign, or if you have significant signs in air signs, significant placements in air signs. But really, this is sort of the energy of, you know, you're winning, but at what expense? This woman, you know, you see this, which she's happy, she's got all the knives, she's juggling them. This one is completely beside herself, and this one is frankly confused. And then this one has it all. So it's kind of like, to me, what's the point of having it all if you don't really have it all, you know? So the masculines, to me, this is the masculines waking up, realizing, well, what's the point of having the money and the cars and this, you know, this house and these expensive toys and these memberships and, you know, social events, and what's the point of all of these things if I'm really miserable inside, if I'm not being honest with myself? And feminines, you know that point in time where you had to leave a relationship in the past, whether it was a marriage with children or it was just a relationship, okay? And you know it was an engagement, or it was just, again, just boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, or girlfriend-girlfriend, boyfriend-boyfriend, whatever the case. And you felt like, I am lying to myself. I am doing myself a disservice. I am going against my soul if I stay in this situation. That's what the masculines are finally feeling. That if they stay in this situation, it will destroy them. It's destroying their soul. It's a very dark energy that the masculines are in right now. And guys, you know that I don't like to channel the dark energy, but it's there. I've been feeling it immensely. It's very heavy. Emotionally, it's a burden. It's definitely a burden on them. So they're feeling it. I have to discuss it. I have to talk about it. So the masculines are realizing that what's the point in celebrating if I'm doing it alone? If I have this partner, but I feel like even if we sit side by side, we're miles away from one another emotionally. There's no deep connection in this supposed connection. There's no intimacy. There's no UIC. There's no real intimacy. There's no real connection of the heart or of the soul. It's dead. This relationship has been dead in the water for so long. It's like a dead fish floating in the water. And they've been trying to revive it. They've gone back over and over. And many feminines have endured this, the masculine going back over and over, expecting different results, the definition of insanity. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And they continue to lie to themselves. This tells me they can no longer lie to themselves. There's no more lying. There's only truth. And they're seeing that if they continue in this situation, there's no path to the Ten of Pentacles. They're seeing the error of their ways. They're seeing, if I stay in this situation and pretend just to stroke my ego or stroke society's ego or my family's ego or my cultures or my religions or whatever, my partner's, wife, husband, whatever, ego, doesn't do them any good. Again, it's doing them a severe disservice, and they're going to continue to suffer emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. They're going to continue to suffer in all ways. They're going to have nightmares. Many of them are having nightmares. Many of them are having sleepless nights, insomnia. They're getting physically sick. Not COVID, but they're getting sick, right? Colds and aches and pains and things like that. And it's like unexplainable, and they don't know why they're getting sick. Masculines, it's because you're not living your authentic life. Your feminine is your authentic counterpart. Your feminine reflects the truth and authenticity of who you are. Anyone else is going to be a karmic partner, even if it's a higher level soulmate. There will be lessons to be learned, but you will never feel the wholeness, the fulfillment, the authenticity that you'll feel when you're with your feminine, and vice versa. So I feel like the masculines feel like this Ten of Pentacles is slipping out of their fingers more and more the longer they stay miserable in these situations. So I feel like they're realizing time is of the essence. And then we have the Lovers and the Ace of Cups, guys. So, the Lovers can signify decisions, right? A decision. Okay, so in terms of a decision, am I going to stay with this person that I'm with, that I'm miserable with? And am I really finally going to be honest with myself and admit that I'm miserable and leave and walk out the door? And am I going to go towards my counterpart, or am I going to stay miserable? Knowing that the misery is going to lead them into further and further into isolation. They're going to be further and further away from their own soul. And that's going to cause tower moment. The universe will keep delivering tower moment after tower moment after tower moment after tower moment until they finally get knocked over the head and wake up. And the Ace of Cups, aces always signify new beginnings. This is an emotional new beginning. There's magic in the air. You see the two doves here. There's peace, there's harmony, there's growth, there's a watering there's a watering of the soul is what I'm seeing here with the kitty there getting a drink. There's a cauldron brewing, right? There's magic brewing. This is your masculine wanting to rush forward and start this new connection, this new relationship with you in a brand new way, and choosing you. This is the path of choosing you, of union, of coming together and delivering that Ten of Pentacles eventually, when the time is right, when everything lines up, when they have their physical world, more stabilized and figured out, when they've moved out from under the same roof as that partner, when they have stabilized their job, their finances. They're still masculines, even though they're DMs, so they need to feel stable probably before they'll come forward. Also, guys, understand that the masculines will not come forward unless they feel stable enough to offer you consistent communication. And that's why many of you aren't in communication at this time. If they don't feel like they can offer you consistent communication, guys, it's 333. Just had to interject that. 333 is very significant at this time. But if they don't feel like they can offer you significant communication, they're simply going to remain quiet and silent because they know that that's not fair. They know that they're going to do the connection a disservice. They're going to do you a disservice if they continue staying in that energy of in and out, hot and cold. They simply, they're being told by their higher selves that they can no longer offer crumbs and they can no longer offer something that's not sustainable. They really do. I mean, with the Ace of Cups, the Lovers, and the Knight of Cups, guys, the emotions are high. This Pisces full moon has really heightened the emotions inside both counterparts' hearts. There's a lot of tears flowing. There's a lot of regret and guilt the masculines are dealing with for walking away from these situations. If there's children, there's definitely guilt. They're getting and receiving guilt from the other party. Absolutely 1000%. They're being guilt tripped by that person. You're a bad mother. You're a bad father. How dare you? You know, you're tearing this family apart. And in reality, that's just the ego trip of the partner, of whoever they're with, because that partner has somebody that's much better suited for them. And if you really love someone, you want them with the person they're supposed to be with. But those partners don't really love the masculines in a real loving way. They don't necessarily want what's best for them. They just want them to themselves. They just want their cake and they want to eat it too. The partners the masculines are with, they don't care if the masculine suffers. They don't want him to live his highest version of himself. The feminine asks and demands, rather, that the masculine step up into his true authentic self. The feminine demands and settles for nothing less than the full version of the masculine. The karmic partners don't do that, so it's much easier to stay in that situation with the karmic partner because they will not make demands of the masculine. The masculine can stay where they are and stay stagnant, and of course that leads to misery, that leads to isolation and loneliness, that leads to feeling unfulfilled, that leads to heartbreak and heartache. So yeah, the karmic partners are not they're not wanting to let the masculines go, is what I'm feeling. But look the masculine in his heart, he wants to come rushing forward with an offer of love. I mean, this is very clear, guys. Very clear that he's choosing the feminine. The feminine has been chosen. And I know it doesn't feel like that for many of you. I completely resonate and understand and empathize with that. I'm in the same boat in the 3D physical world right now. But there's just so much more behind the scenes going on. Oh, that really wanted to pop out. Oh my gosh, this card literally flew out, flew back in, and flew out again. The Ace of Pentacles. So not only do we have the Ace of Cups, we have another card of new beginnings, indicating fresh new starts in the physical realm, in the 3D world. So there is, separation is preparation. There is preparation going on behind the scenes. I see a cleaning. It's kind of like clean it up. I see a cleaning up and a cleaning out of houses, of rooms, of drawers. They're showing me this vision of like an empty room, meaning there's going to be a leaving and then there's going to be an entering of a new space with this Ace of Pentacles. There's fresh new starts and new beginnings in the physical. I can't make this up, guys. There's definite changes going on in the physical, and with those changes, you're going to be surprised. I feel like these aces are going to be just really quick starts for a lot of us, and we're not going to expect it, and that's what's going to be so exciting and so surprising. It's going to take us by surprise, and we're going literally it's going to be like we're blindfolded, and all of a sudden the blindfold is ripped off, and everything is going to change in your connection. So especially those of you who are in total separation, expect a tower moment that's going to bring in just significant changes, like an earthquake is going to come through, or a tornado is going to roll through, and then you're going to open your eyes and everything's going to be different in your connection. You're going to hear what you need to hear from your counterpart, maybe not all at once, but you're going to start to hear the beginnings of that. There's going to be conversations. Things are going to change. Oh my gosh. So the only ace we have left is the Ace of Swords. We now have the Ace of Wands. Fiery new beginnings, passionate new beginnings, creative endeavors. I feel like this signifies the fresh starts in the masculine's life. There's a lot of inspiration here. They're inspired to make these changes in the physical. They're inspired. They're absolutely, these are, fresh starts. So we see the World card up here, the completion of cycles, okay? And we see in his heart and head space, the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, his divine feminine. Then we have the Lovers, the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. The only somewhat negative card would be the Five of Swords, but that's clearly being overcome by the rest of these cards. So powerful and so positive these cards are. So we have Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and Ace of Wands. So we have starts in the physical, fresh starts in the emotional realm, and fresh starts in the passionate realm, in the realm of creativity, the sacral chakra. Okay, birthing new creations into the physical. I mean, guys, it really doesn't get any better than this. So we also have the Page of Pentacles fly out along with the Ace of Pentacles, or sorry, the Ace of Wands. So, to me, this says this is a masculine who's, he's a page. There is a bit of immaturity, so there will need to be some maturing. But he's starting off on a journey, and you can see he has a map, an old school map. He's got a knapsack there. Oh no, those are coins. He's got his pentacles. So he's saving up money. He's making plans, and he's going to change the direction of his life. I mean, this is in the works, okay? He looks excited. He looks confident. He looks like he's ready to make this change. So I really feel like despite what you're seeing in the physical, the changes are occurring. Let's get a message from the masculine. The moon just flew right out, by the way, guys. I love this card. I love this deck because the images resonate so deeply. Yep. King of Swords, yep. He may be in his headspace right now. This is not the King of Wands, so this doesn't indicate fast-moving action, but he is all up in his head about these changes, okay? I mean, he's doing the research, okay? He's making the changes in his mind. The masculine energy, they have to make the changes or decisions in their mind before they can implement them in the physical. So he's absolutely doing the work behind the scenes, and he looks very confident, very courageous here. So I feel like the masculines are starting to pick themselves up, off the ground, out of these tower moments and out of these karmic endings with the World card. And he's starting to really realize that, okay, I have to make the plans. I mean, the plans have been made, the plans have been laid out. In order to go on this journey, he is up in his head a little bit, but he's also in his heart, because we had the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Lovers, and we had the Queen of Cups. So he's in his heart and head equally, which I really love seeing that equality with head and heart. There's beginning to be a balance for the masculine with the head and the heart. Now, with these two major arcana cards, with the Fool and the Moon, we see this kitty cat, right? It's a small house cat, but he sees himself as a panther. And we see the witch up there hanging out, right, in the moon energy. So we see that the moon signifies illusions. So it can also signify that maybe he's saying to you, because these are messages from the masculine, he's saying to you, I'm doing work behind the scenes. He's saying to you, I'm ready for this fresh start. I'm ready to take a leap of faith. And I am ready. I feel like he's saying, catch me. Will you catch me if I fall? I just heard that with the Fool card. Will you catch me? Will you be the net that appears when I take this leap of faith? Because I am taking this leap of faith into the great unknown. And it takes a lot of courage, and he wants you to know that it takes a lot of courage for him to do that. This is something he's had to plan. It's something he did have to think about and mull over in his mind and go over and make sure he was making the right decision. The beauty of this divine feminines is that with this energy of him saying to you, I needed time to make sure that I was making the right decision, it looked to the feminine like he was going back and forth, back and forth. He didn't know who was he going to choose, you or the karmic, or you or his job, or you or his family, or whatever the karmic situation was. But what's really going on is the masculine, that's how the masculine operates. They don't operate first from the heart, although they are having heart opening, okay, and vulnerabilities. They operate from the head space, and then they move into the heart, and then it'll resonate in the heart, but it has to resonate in the mind first. So he's saying, I had to come to this conclusion on my own. Nobody could do it for me. And for that, the feminine had to really step back and allow him that space and time. But what he's saying to you is, now that I've made up my mind, I made up my mind 100%, 1000%. There's no going back. I'm not going back. Look, I'm starting off on a fresh journey. I'm starting off and it's fresh and it's new and it's just me. This is very much the card of being single. It's very much the card of adventure. Okay, so he's starting off on a new journey. And he does know that his feminine is at the end of this journey, but he doesn't quite know how to get to her yet, right? This is the beginning of the major arcana. It's interesting that we have the beginning of the major arcana and we have the ending. So what I love about this is you see we have the karmic endings leading immediately right into new beginnings for the masculine. As soon as that karmic wheel turns, as soon as he accepts that that tower has fallen, okay, that his stability, his foundation, his old life has fallen away, his old belief systems, everything. As soon as he can accept that that's fallen, he's going to step right into the energy of this new beginning. And his feminine's going to be right there with him as the Queen of Cups, as the Queen of Pentacles. She's going to be rooting him on, okay? And he knows that there's imminent union on the other side of all of this. He knows this with this card and the Ten of Pentacles, right? The Lovers and the Ten of Pentacles. He knows that on some level. And he's moving past illusions. And he also needs you to move past the illusions in the 3D. He's saying to you, I know what it looks like, and it looks bad. It looks like I haven't budged, I haven't moved, I haven't made a decision. I need you to get out of your head because what you're seeing is not a true reflection of what's going on. Let's pull some cards. I could pull from this deck forever, but let's pull some cards. Oh, guys, wait a second. I happened to put... This is interesting. How did that happen? This card was flipped up on the top of the deck, and I don't know how that happened, but we have the Queen of Swords. This is the karmic. This is the Ice Queen. So what's happening here is there's the illusion that he's still with the karmic. There's the illusion that he went back to the karmic. There's the illusion that this is where his loyalty and commitment lies, and he's letting you know this is not the truth. What you're seeing is not, what you're seeing and believing is not the truth. It's not the reality. This is a complete illusion. It's a lie. It's a facade, and it needs to happen. This is part of the cycle of healing of abandonment and codependency issues for both of you, but this is not the truth. This is not the person he wants to be with. He's experiencing a lot of negative emotions, a lot of negativity from this karmic partner, and he's ready to come home to his divine feminine. There's going to be a journey he has to take to get to divine feminine. Let's find out from the Magical Dimensions cards here. Let's get some energy here for the feminine and for the masculine. Energy for the feminine. Releasing. Ooh, I like this. So feminine, you have releasing, purification, spiritual cleansing, letting go. He needs you to release the past, feminine. He needs you to release any version of him that doesn't align with the divine masculine, any version of him that hurts you, any version of him that didn't choose you, any version of him that created this separation, any version of him that isn't pure, that isn't his true authentic self. Whatever version he was showing you in the matrix, in the 3D, that wasn't the truth, that his higher self was making him do so he could fulfill his part of the bargain, his part of the contract with you. You need to let it go. And we have hummingbird medicine here, which is very magical. And, you know, hummingbirds have this magical quality. It's almost impossible to see them because they move so quickly. You really have to, even to take a picture of them, you have to be so quick because their wings move so fast. Their metabolism is so high. They're constantly eating. They're constantly moving. They're constantly in motion. So there's a real energy here of the feminine needing to sort of balance out some of this scattered energy, some of this chaotic energy. And you can call on hummingbird medicine for that. I also see hummingbird medicine as the sweet nectar. So releasing the negative to get to the sweet nectar of this connection. Then we have adventure for the masculines, innocence, play, discovery. This is them connecting with their inner child, doing some inner child work and healing. This is also them connecting to their children. Now, I see a key here. So this tells me that the key to this connection, the key to this all coming together lies with the masculine at this time. That he or she has the power to really jump into this new portal and to create a new beginning. So he or she knows that. The masculines know that they're the ones who have, you know, the potential to jumpstart this connection. They know, feminine, you don't need to reach out. They know that they're the ones that need to make the move. They absolutely know this. And it's so tempting to want to reach out and let them know you're there, but they know you're there. Many feminines have made it very clear that, you know, the door is always open. I'll be waiting here with unconditional love. And by waiting, of course, you know, I don't mean waiting and sitting around, but I'll be here with unconditional love when you're ready. The masculines know this. They haven't felt worthy up until this point. And most of that is because the baggage, the obstacle, one of the main obstacles in this connection for many was another partner or a family member, a parent, a job, money, and an addiction. And these are the things that were the main blocks and obstacles that prevented union, preventing you guys from really getting close. So for union energy, we have illumination, exploration, positivity, and joy, inspiration. So there's going to be, this kind of reminds me of the moon card. There's going to be an illumination of what isn't real and what is real. And this is on the masculine side, but also on the feminine side. So you're going to start seeing things clearly after we wipe the cobwebs out of our eyes, after we emerge from this Pisces full moon with this Neptunian influence of illusion. We're going to start seeing things more clearly, and you're going to start seeing this connection more clearly. So guys, I'm going to end the reading there. I have some personal readings to do for the rest of the day. I'm sending you so much love and light. And please let me know how this resonated below. Please like, share, subscribe. If you could please share, that really helps the channel grow and expand and helps the message reach whoever it needs to reach. Many blessings, and I'll talk to you soon.